My brother's wife stood on my doorstep.
Get the hell out of my house. You don't live here anymore.
Her voice dripped with malice. I clenched my fists. "This is my house!" I shot back. Behind me, I heard the screech of tires. A large truck pulled up. They had brought their belongings. They were really planning to throw me out onto the street. My brother's wife crossed her arms and smirked.
Don't even try to fight it. This is already decided.
But let's start from the beginning. I was always the outcast in my family. My parents openly favored my younger brother, forgiving him everything, including bullying me. When I lost my job and apartment, they wouldn't even let me park my old camper on their property. I survived months sleeping in parking lots, living off random jobs. But eventually, I got back on my feet and bought a house. When I posted about it online, my family showed up uninvited. They barged in like they owned the place, looking around with an unsettling interest.
So much space. Too much for one person.
"And it's closer to my work," Jake added. "If you like it so much, buy your own house," I said, crossing my arms. They pushed me outside, leaving only Jake inside. Soon he came out and said, "We talked it over. You can live in your camper and we'll take the house." I froze. "Are you serious?" I finally asked. "Yeah, we're family. We need it more. You're fine in the trailer." "That's not how family works, Jake. You don't just steal from each other." I silently took out my phone and started recording. "So this is your plan?" I asked. "It's already decided." He extended his hand for a handshake. "No," I said, loud enough that Jake flinched. He tried to argue, but I cut him off. "This is my house, bought with my money. You didn't even offer to pay rent."
You have to.
His wife Sarah screamed.
I'm pregnant. We need this house.
"Oh, so because you can't stop having kids, I have to give up my home. That's not how it works, Sarah."
You're heartless.
She screeched. "No, I'm just not a doormat." At that moment, she lunged at me, but Jake barely held her back. "Get out of my house!" I shouted.
You'll change your mind.
My mother threatened.
We'll be back in a week.
"Don't bother. I'll have security cameras installed by then." I blocked their numbers, but exactly 1 week later, they arrived with a moving truck. While I was at work, they changed the locks and started moving in. I called the police. When they arrived, my guests locked themselves inside. My parents rushed over, claiming I was overreacting and had agreed to let them stay. Jake walked out with a printed rental agreement. I glanced at it. Fake signature. I threatened to sue, call child services, and press charges for fraud and breaking in. Jake turned pale.
Just do this for Jake.
My mother pleaded again. "If you think it's such a great idea, give him your house," I snapped.
That's different.
She gasped. "Oh, why? Because it inconveniences you? Now you know how I feel." The police forced them to leave. My parents yelled, "You're no longer our son!" I laughed. "Finally, freedom!" After that, the family was divided. Half sided with me, the rest stayed silent. But no one backed Jake. He still lives with our parents, while Sarah continues whining on social media. And me? I'm enjoying my home, moving forward. Let Jake live in the chaos he created.